I can tell.
Well, because Chevy didn't bring me any dessert this morning, so...
So you have to make it yourself.
Welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us for this very special occasion so we can celebrate our 8th grade. They have worked so hard for this event, and we are very proud of them. Tonight, our siblings are going to welcome our incoming graduates.
Shabbat Konyan. Dan Dyson. Morgan Edward. Sima Levine. David Taylor. Letty Sealman. Ezra Shento. Aya Tanwika. Herschel Thomas. Jonathan Thomas. Natalia Tuckman.
Would you please rise for our national anthem and the Hatikva? To open our ceremony, I would like to invite Rabbi Shaya Guttenberg, followed by Mr. Handworker, to give a speech.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to acknowledge first the many teachers, both past and present, and some future of SPHDS, many board of directors, parents, students, and graduates. And a special thank you to Rebecca Hammerger and many parents for preparing the meal afterwards. In my letter to the graduates in the yearbook, which I'm sure you've all read by now, considering you've been walking around with those things for a few days, I wrote about my favorite and life-changing poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And I wrote about that every juncture in my life, whenever I need to make a decision, I take out the same poem that I've had since 9th grade, and I sit down in a quiet place, and I read it, contemplate, and introspect about the next stage of my life. And in this letter that I wrote to you, I asked you the following question. Frost challenges us to be individuals, to take chances without conforming to the general population. He encourages us to contemplate about the road not taken. Yet Judaism places such an emphasis on the congregation and the community, from prayers to learning, to sit here, don't sit here, look here, shake this, bow this, don't eat this, smell this, don't go here, don't go there, shake this way, take 3 steps this way, not that way. And we have a rigid set of halachot, and yet we're supposed to be nonconformists, taking the road not taken in life. And I challenge you to answer that question for yourself. It has been my tradition at graduation to give my own answer to the question that I asked you. And I don't have to look very far for an answer than sitting right here. When I look at these graduates, I see very special, unique individuals. I see Torah scholars, bakers, basketball players, magicians, comedians, you all know who I'm talking about for each one, psychologists, artists, singers, and I even see a superhero, Batman. Individually, you each have your own unique talents, your ambitions, and even your idiosyncrasies. Yet together, you come together and merge to become the class of 2018, our 45th year of SPHDS. But together, you become more than that. You are more than the sum of your parts. And as I watched the video as a surprise, you've become a family. And think about that for a second. An individual talent, an individual road not taken, yet coming together, conforming communal in a Jewish environment. SPHS has provided for you an environment of acceptance, diversity, sensitivity, and the ability to grow on your own. We have our communal responsibilities, expectations, standards, and yet within these expectations, we allow for acceptable limitations. You have challenged our staff, and I'm sure all of you could shake your heads with this. You have challenged us to provide the care, the unique care that each of you need. And you have taught us, I think more than we have taught you, about growing as unique individuals, of becoming leaders, and traveling as our theme is tonight when you look around, traveling on the road not taken. And I'm sure many of the board of directors around the room would give the same blessing I'm about to give to you. We look to you as leaders and hopefully future board of directors and leaders within our community. Martin, is that okay? We want you to come back to visit us because we know that you have a home at SPHDS. And we look forward to greeting you with open arms when you come back and visit us. And with that, I'd like to call up our board of directors, Martin Hammerger.
Many of you have been here at SPHDS for quite a while, some of you since preschool, practically your entire lives. In that time, you've changed, which is a good thing. You've grown and matured and into young adults. I was trying to think about what to say today. One way to look upon today is as an end. You're ending one stage of your lives and beginning the next stage. But on second thought, I think there's a more apropos analogy, and it's apparent in the meaning of the word graduation. Merriam-Webster defines graduation as a mark on an instrument or vessel indicating degrees or quantity. So a thermometer is said to be graduated because it has lines on it, which we call degrees. Then I realize you've probably never seen a thermometer with lines on it because they're digital. But rulers are also graduated, as are measuring cups, so I think you get what I'm talking about here. Today, you're passing one of those lines on the thermometer. So we say you're getting a degree. You're moving up a grade. You moved up a degree on the thermometer of life. It's not a beginning, and it's not an end. You're just moving up and moving forward. With help from your teachers and your parents and your peers, you've climbed to where you are today. And we all expect you to continue to climb. Rabbi Gutenberg spoke about the road not taken. I think implicit in that message is that you take a road. 2 weeks ago, we read Parsha Baloska, where it said, "V'yisu mehar Hashem derech shloshes yamim." They journeyed from the mountain of God, a path of 3 days. There's a Gemara in Shabbos, which is trying to explain why certain psukim appear out of chronological order. And it says they were reordered so as not to put two sins next to each other. Which two sins? Rabbi Chana bar Rabbi Chanina sees this as one of the sins, that they journeyed from Har Hashem 3 days. They left Har Sinai. They graduated. But they couldn't stay there forever. You can't stay here forever either. You're graduating. What's wrong with that? Tosfos gives a midrashic explanation of what Rav Chama saw in this pasuk. Sure, the Jews had to leave Har Sinai, but the problem was the way they left. They left, the midrash says, the way a school child leaves school. See, I was going somewhere with this. You're supposed to be happy when you leave, but you're not supposed to be happy because you're leaving, excited to be leaving. No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers. You know the expression. Yay, school's out. Happiness wasn't the problem. You should be happy you graduated. You've accomplished something, and it's important. But you have to understand what a graduation is. You're not ending something. You're not running away from something. You're not running away from school, finished with school, away from SPHDS. You should always be running towards something, picking which road to take, running forward on that road to something, up a notch on that thermometer, 1 degree further in life. The thermometer never ends. Your obligation to study Torah and to continue to mature and grow intellectually and spiritually doesn't end here today, nor will it end after high school with that degree, nor with any other degree at any time in your lives. We'll soon see a video, which will probably bring a few tears and a few laughs, that shows how much you've grown. At some point, you'll toss your caps in the air. Your parents will snap a picture. It's called snap because cameras used to do that. And you should be happy that you're graduating. But as you go off, you'll grow further. You'll make new friends, but you'll keep the friends you've made here. You'll learn new Torah, but you'll remember the Torah you learned here and the teachers who taught it to you. You'll push forward in your understanding of history, of English, science, and mathematics, but you'll always remember, as Mr. Solov would put it, the diabolical, say it with me here, the diabolical, invisible, ever-lurking one. Mazel Tov, congratulations, SPHDS class of 2018 on your graduation. And always remember to push forward towards something, never backwards, never away from something.
So Mr. Handwerker is right. We are going to watch a video. And both Rabbi Guttenberg and Mr. Hamburger had, in their messages, it was very appropriate for our theme of the night. The theme is Your Adventure Awaits. And so we hope you enjoy this video of our children. And take a moment to enjoy some laughs and some tears. Thank you.
Say the human body or a plant or just an animal like a squirrel right over there.
Well, Mr. Nolan, thank you very much. You've taught me so much with science, and I really love class.
I would like to thank Hagit Sandhouse for making this wonderful video for us. Thank you, Hagit. And before we invite the students up, we actually have a special guest speaker, Mrs. Vered Seelman. She is a parent of our student body, and she has some special words for our students and for our families. Please come on up.
This video was amazing, I'll start with that. כל הכבוד ילדים, אתם מדהימים, מהממים. Dear families, relatives, friends, board of directors, teachers, admins, and last but definitely not least, our amazing graduates. For those who don't know me, I am Vered Seelman, honored and proud to be known as Libby's mom. Libby is one of our graduates tonight and has been in SPHDS for the past 10 years. First, please let me begin with congratulations on your graduation, class of 2018. You did it, yay! We are so proud of you. We are all very excited and happy to celebrate with you tonight as you move on to your next big adventure. Remember, the best things in life are HaTorah, the Torah, of course, the people you love, the places you've been, and the memories you've made along the way. And you've made beautiful memories here at SPHDS. Memories that you will cherish forever, such as making friendships for life, celebrating holidays together, davening every morning together, going on trips together, having inside jokes, and many more. SPHDS has been a second home and family for you. Family is where life begins and love never ends. And you were all loved very much by your caring teachers. I know firsthand how SPHDS teachers love and care for their students and invest time and effort into their learning and education, both in Judaic and general studies. I myself used to be a teacher here in this unique family called SPHDS, so I know. I would like to take this opportunity and thank you, wonderful teachers, on behalf of the parents, for your hard work, dedication, patience, devotion, and love for our children who graduate SPHDS tonight. Thank you, Rabbi Feldman, Rabbi Lieberman, Mrs. Tackman, Mora Ilana, Mora Merav, Mr. Hathaway, Mr. Solo, Mr. Norling, and Coach Steve. Thank you all. We would like to thank Rabbi Shaya Gutenberg for teaching our children Parashat HaShavua every Friday in an interesting and interactive way, which made your class so enjoyable for them. We would also like to thank you for taking our children to the trip of their lives, to 7-Eleven. Just kidding. The Israel trip, of course. Thank you for an amazing and meaningful experience they'll remember for a lifetime. Thank you for bringing them home safe and sound. Last, but very not least at all, we would like to thank Dr. Gould. Who is an asset to the school and broke a record for answering emails in the shortest amount of time ever in the history of SPHDS. You're always willing and ready to help and makes things better. You're the best. Thank you. Dear graduates, as you enter into the next chapter of your life, we, your parents, wish you all the best and hope that you very much enjoy your new adventure. Or, bריאות, שמחה, ברכה והצלחה בכל. More than just a school, SPHDS showed you the way of life. The amazing skills, endless knowledge, excellent education, the Jewish values, tradition and heritage, your deep and sincere love for the Torah, your true love for Medinat Israel, and the Jewish people that you received from each and every teacher at SPHDS will always and forevermore be with you wherever you go and whatever you do. Here are some tips for life from us to you. ביטחון בהשם, trust in Hashem. Walk in the path of Hashem. Stand up for what's right. Respect yourself and others. Make smart choices. Have a voice. Stay true to yourself. Choose happiness. Believe in yourself. Shine bright. Dream big and follow your dreams. Happy graduation! Class of 2018, you rock! מזל טוב, בשעה טובה ומוצלחת. השם ישמור אתכם, עלו והצליחו. Love you forever, your parents, אמא ואבא.
Now we've all been waiting for this. It is officially time to welcome our graduates onto the stage. Come on up, graduates. We have two student speakers. Every student's going to speak, but we have two longer speeches tonight. It's going to be by Natalia Tuckman, followed by Jonathan Thomas. Natalia, I would like to invite you to come and speak.
Thank you all for coming tonight to celebrate our graduation. For our whole lives until today, we have all been on the same journey, taking the same path leading up to the same goals. Many of us have been in this school for almost a decade and have been together for even longer. We had the same classes and teachers and were taught the same things, both about the world and the Torah. We have spent so much time together and made so many great memories. One of my most vivid memories was Miss Valley's 4th grade class. As a writing prompt, Miss Valley would place a box of objects in the front of the classroom. Using the objects, she would tell us the first part of a story. She would then challenge us to use our imagination and write the rest of her story. We were allowed to continue it in any way we wanted, and were supposed to write down everything that came to mind. Whenever we did this, all of us would end up with completely different stories that many times had nothing to do with each other. We read our stories aloud and compared them. Often, they would have very different characters, settings, and endings. But if you read them closely, you would be able to see that at least the first couple sentences of everyone's stories were always the same. We all used our own imagination, which made all of our stories different from one another. These differences have contributed to making us the individuals we are today. In Parshat Korach, it talks about the Leviim and the job they were assigned in the land of Israel. They were given the job to serve God and work in the Beit HaMikdash, even when all the other tribes were given the jobs to work the land, build, and create a functioning state. All of the tribes were raised together, given the same things, and treated in the same way. However, from after the Chet HaEgel, otherwise known as the sin of the golden calf, and looking forward to when they would enter Israel, God gave them all different roles. Parshat Korach, Perek Yudchet, Pasuk Chaf Aleph says, Ve'livnei Levi hinei natati kol ma'aser beYisrael, lenachala chelef avodatam asher hem ovdim et avodat ohel moed. And to the children of Levi I have given all the ma'aser from the rest of Bnei Yisrael's land, so that the Leviim can work in the Beit HaMikdash and become close to Hashem. At first glance, this pasuk seems to be unfair to the rest of the Jewish people. They are all given the job to work the land, but Levi has the special privilege to serve God. The Ramban, in his Mishnah Torah, Hilchot Shmita and Yovel, Perek Yud Gimel, Halacha Yud Bet, reads, Ela hem chel Hashem, shene'emar bereich Hashem chelo, saying that even if Levi is given this opportunity to serve God and work in the Beit HaMikdash, that is not the most important job of the Leviim. Being the soldier of God, chel Hashem, and teaching the Torah was their most important job. And that job, however, which appears to distinguish between the tribe of Levi and the rest of Bnei Yisrael, more so than their physical jobs, was actually available to all of the tribes. The Ramban, in his Mishnah Torah, also says, V'lo shevet Levi bilvad, ele kol ish va'ish. It was not only Levi that was given the privilege of dedicating themselves to Torah and Hashem, but any Jew that wanted to follow the path that Levi was chosen for was able to. As the Jewish people, they shared the same foundations, were taught using the same pedagogy, and learned the same content, therefore making them all qualified to teach. So even though they were all given different roles, if they chose, they too could share the most important one, which was being Chel Hashem. Today, just like what the Shvatim did in the land of Israel, we are about to set foot on our own separate paths as individuals. Some of us will choose to be like Levi, and some will choose to be like the other tribes. We each will play our own roles in bettering the world. We will no longer be taught the same things or have the same experiences, but we will share the same core foundations, values, and beliefs. So now, as we are stepping into the world and shaping our own paths, we need to follow the footsteps of our ancestors and embrace and hold tight to our Torah foundations. These foundations not only make us capable of choosing the path of Chel Hashem, but also keep us connected to each other. Now, I would like to thank the people who have shaped us into the individuals we have become, but have also taught us how to work together as a class. They have taught us to be confident, to embrace our differences, and be independent leaders of the Jewish people. Rabbi Lieberman, we have all learned so much from you over the past many years. And as we continue to grow in our knowledge of both Torah and mitzvot, we will take all of it with us. And we will never forget your love for packets and class dojo points, which make us all want to pay attention and learn. Dr. Goer, your passion to help the school and your care for every student show us all how much you want the future generation to thrive. Although you always had so much to do, you took the time to build personal relationships with every student. I really appreciate everything you have done for me. Rabbi Gutenberg, your enthusiasm when teaching our Friday classes motivated us and taught us important lessons. You always made sure that we had fun activities planned and special events to look forward to. Thank you so much for everything you have done for this school. Mr. Hathaway, your class discussions and creative assignments pushed us all to do our best work. You made every lesson fun and interesting, and always encouraged us to express our opinions and learn from each other. You have taught us so much and made it cool to correct people's grammatical mistakes. Mr. Solov, even though we only had 37 minutes of your class every day, as Herschel would constantly remind us, you made all of those minutes count. You have taught us so much over the past 2 years and always ensured we understood it perfectly before moving on. Mr. Norland, your dedication to teaching is palpable, and your love of science inspires me to always want to learn. Your fun sense of humor made even the most challenging topics so interesting to learn about. Mora Ilana, you have not only increased our Hebrew vocabulary, but also taught us so much about Israeli current events and important figures. I am so thankful for everything you have taught me, including being a prime example of what it means to be organized. Steve, you have not only planned sports games and activities for us that were always so much fun, but have brought so much school spirit. I am really going to miss your lunch leagues, Winter Olympics, and of course, your 20-minute runs. Rabbi Feldman, your inspiring stories and answers to our Friday questions have taught us all so much. Thank you for always trying to connect us with the Torah and for your passion while teaching. Mrs. Sunita, you always made sure coding class was interesting, and you taught us so much. You connected what we were learning about in coding to what we were learning in math to ensure that we would understand it better. Thank you so much. Mrs. Tuckman, the Bior Tefillah you taught us during davening helped us all think about what we really wanted to daven for and connect to Hashem. You walked in every morning with so much energy and always made sure our tefillah was meaningful. Thank you so much to everyone who has helped us and guided us throughout our many amazing years at SPHDS. I am not only thankful for all of our past teachers and administration, but also the people beyond our classrooms. Jose, Gladys, Juan, and Frank. Thank you so much for looking after our school and always making sure it was a clean, safe, and welcoming environment. But most importantly, I want to thank my class. It has been such a privilege being in class with all of you. You have made every day a fun adventure. All of our class debates, parties, conversations, and games have strengthened all of our relationships with each other. We have all grown to be so much more than classmates, and together we make a pretty awesome team. I am really going to miss seeing you all on a daily basis, and I will never forget all the amazing, funny, and embarrassing moments we shared. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.
All right, Jonathan, please come up.
Hello. Good evening. First, I would like to thank all the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, and friends who came to celebrate our 8th grade graduation. I'm very privileged to speak to you this evening at SPHDS, the school that taught me everything I'll need for the next chapter in my life. Today is probably a sad day for these amazing teachers and staff of SPHDS. They will probably miss us dearly. For us today is bittersweet. We'll miss our friends, teachers, and the school, but we are excited about starting the next chapter in our lives. Well, class of 2018, we made it. Some of us have come and gone, but we are still here. Well, it's graduation. Where do I begin? I came to SPHDS 4 years ago for the first time, and I realized I'm gonna have an amazing few years here. And you know what? I was right. I won't lie, but there were some ups and downs, but it has been great. Well, I'm gonna miss SPHDS, so here's a list of things I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss the education SPHDS has given me, first of all, and I remember what I've learned for years to come. I'm gonna miss lunch leagues, Winter Olympics, and recess with my friends. Mr. Hathaway trying to teach Ezra not to wear Crocs with a blazer. Ezra saying, I'm Batman. Ezra saying, I'm Batman again, and then again, and realizing just maybe he might be Batman. Herschel trying to teach everyone how to fast clap. And he's really good at that. My one-on-ones with Dan in basketball, and you know what? He's a good basketball player himself. David's funny jokes, he's hilarious, and his words of wisdom, he's just a good man to talk to. The teacher's funny jokes and words of wisdom, and finally I would like to thank the rest of the 8th grade, all of you, and 6th and 7th graders, who are also amazing people, and they're in the back. One of my most memorable experiences at SPHDS is the Israel trip. SPHDS brought the graduating class and the 7th graders to an amazing experience in Israel. The experience we shared, such as climbing Masada at 4 a.m., will last us a lifetime. Thank you, Rabbi Gittenberg and Mrs. Johannix, for the wonderful experience. Last year, the middle school also got to play at Oracle Arena. Who else would get to play on the NBA court of a championship team? This Parsha Korach, is about Korach arguing with Moshe. The Torah itself says that one is not supposed to be like Korach and his followers. V'lo yiyeh Korach v'adato. But it can't be that Jews are not allowed to disagree. Jews love to disagree. There's a whole book filled with disagreements. So from this story we could learn not whether you can disagree, but how to disagree. Korach and his followers are cited in the Mishnah as the example of how not to argue. In the 5th chapter of Perkei Avos, we learn that Kol machlochet l'shem shamayim sofet mikayem. An argument for the sake of heaven will last, and an argument that is not l'shem shamayim, is not for the sake of heaven, will not last. The example of an argument that is l'shem shamayim is Hillel and Shammai. An argument that is not l'shem shamayim is Korach and all of his group. So why does the Mishnah name both sides in the citing of Hillel and Shammai, but then not mention Moshe when it talks about Korach? And what teaches us that Korach and his group was not for the sake of heaven? To understand this, we look to the Malim. He points out that when you learn the arguments of Hillel and Shammai, they were always civil to each other. They always treated each other well. But Korach's group does not treat Moshe Rabbeinu with respect. The Midrash says that they asked Moshe a question only in order to send him up for ridicule, and Datan and Aviram refused to engage in any kind of conversation with Moshe. But the disagreement goes even further than that. Even within their group, Korach and his Eidah do not get along. When you look closely, are they even on the same page? Korach wants to be the Kohen Gadol. He comes from Yisar, the second son of Kahat. Moshe comes from Amram, the first son. So Moshe got to be the king of the Jews. But Korach thinks that you should get the next job, to be the Kohen Gadol. But what about Datan and Aviram? They come from the tribe of Reuven. And they still think that it was the right of Reuven, the original firstborn, to be the leaders and the Kohanim. Now what about the 250 followers? The Malbim says that they are Nesiei Edah and Anshe Shem, people of merit. They think that Moshe should at least be consulting with them and get important things like Huna. It shouldn't be something inherited, but rather earned. Each group has a different objective. They agree that Moshe and Aaron are wrong, but they don't agree with each other and anything else. We see from the Mishnah that Jews are certainly allowed to argue. The question is how to argue. Are you arguing in order to find out the truth, or some other reason? Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai argue for a purpose, which was to get the truth. We can see their greater purpose in the fact that they argue in a civil way. Now what about Korach? All the different factions of Korach's side are mutually incompatible. They are arguing with each other as much as they are arguing with Moshe. This kind of argument is a sign that they are not for the sake of heaven. This is why the Mishnah doesn't even mention Moshe. The argument is not for the sake of heaven. It is one within the group. Korach v'kol adato. At SPHDS, they've taught me shalom, the pursuit of peace, and kavod, respect. With these values, you can realize that if you're arguing with one another, you think if your argument is for the sake of heaven, and you should also try to make your argument for the pursuit of peace. And you should also respect each other while you're arguing. I'll take these values and lessons and apply them throughout my life. Now I'd like to thank all of my teachers. Rabbi Lieberman, there is so much to say about you. You are an amazing Gemara teacher and have taught me so much in school and out of school. Thank you. Mr. Hathaway, you're amazing. You make us laugh every day and get us so into the learning. And you're a great teacher to talk sports with. Mr. Solo, I like that every day you shake our hands so that you appreciate every student equally, and you are my favorite math teacher I've ever had. Mr. Norling, your science facts are really interesting. You have so much knowledge in science. You're a great teacher that's fair to all the students, and you're really funny. Mrs. Anita, thank you for teaching me the skills to work in the 21st century. Your coding you've taught me will help me. Thank you. Rabbi Feldman, you may have already heard my Dvar Torah before, but that is fine. You are a great Chumash teacher, and yes, I've learned a lot from you. Thank you, Steve, for being an amazing PE teacher. Your lunch days, Winter Olympics are amazing, and every activity you do is so much fun. Momarav, you've taught me so much useful Hebrew I will need in my life, and you've taught me how to act in Hebrew, and you make funny jokes to lighten my day. Last of all, I would like Rabbi Gutenberg and Dr. Gower for helping the school and making it an amazing place. Thank you. I'd also like to thank my class, all of you. You guys are amazing in your own way, and I'm going to miss every single one of you. Now, thank you all for coming. We made it.
Thank you, Natalia, and thank you, Jonathan. Each student would like to thank their families for the love and the support that you guys have given them over the years. So they're going to give us a short speech, and once they've given their speech, would the parents please come up so that they can give you a personal thank you.
Thank you everyone here that helped me and made me become who I am today. My teachers, who have shown me so much patience, especially to me, even though I've asked endless questions way above the average amount which regular people ask. And as Simba constantly reminded me, your question limit has ended, no more. And that was a joke. I now try to lower my question quota to a maximum of 5 per day, if you haven't noticed yet. Our teachers are just amazing and have taught me and my class everything we need to know for life and always encourage us to do our best work. I would like to thank my classmates and friends for being such kind and caring people who always believed in me and always were there for me, whether I needed it or not. We have created amazing memories that will be remembered throughout my life. I would also like to thank my Bubby for coming all the way from San Diego to join with me on this special occasion. It means so much. You have inspired me with your generosity and kindness, and I hope to pass it on to future generations. I would also like to thank my siblings for being just awesome. Rachel, for always telling me the right thing to do, especially when it comes to choosing clothing. David and Mendel, for always trying to teach me how to be better at sports, even though I did not succeed yet. Zvi, for being such a cute brother and always playing games with me, and you beat me every time. Maybe that's why you want to play. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents for helping me and showing me all throughout my life how much you care. You have shown me the right way to live through instilling in me the right qualities to live a good life through Torah and keeping the mitzvot. I couldn't have become who I am without you. You all are just amazing people who make me complete. I would now like to invite my parents up to the stage /parent.
This is a very important milestone in my life, and I did not get here alone. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents, because they've always stood by me. I'd also like to thank my siblings because they've had a big impact on my life. In addition, I'd like to thank my friends for sticking by me. I want to thank the staff who have made my years at SPHDS amazing. They put so much time and effort into every individual student, and our school is lucky to have them. Also, I want to specifically thank Rabbi Guttenberg, who, even though he is the head of school, is very involved with every individual student and is a very good addition to SPHDS. Our school is very lucky to have our staff. I would now like to invite my parents up to the stage.
In the short time I have to speak up here on stage, I'd like to thank everyone who's made an impact on my life so far. My teachers for their constant hard work and patience, emphasis on patience. My classmates for the random class discussions and funny remarks. To my sister Dina for always being there, and my brother Join for the best in the moment one-liners on the planet. Finally, to my parents, who would take weeks to thank for everything you do on a daily basis, not embarrassing in the speech earlier, and much, much more. I would like to invite my parents up on stage.
I'd like to thank my family, friends, and teachers for helping me to reach this point. I'd like to thank my teachers throughout all the years for their endless effort to try and make class more enjoyable. I learned so much here in SPHDS, and I hope the knowledge will stay with me throughout my life. To my class, some of you I've been with for what seems to be hundreds of years, but really only been about 9 years. I will miss all your unique personalities and the life experiences that we've shared. I will miss my friends greatly, and I'd like to thank them all for the amazing things that we did together. From Slurpees in San Francisco to making the yearbook together, it wouldn't have been the same without each and every one of you. I would like to thank my siblings for always cheering me up and making sure I'm never bored. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents for supporting and believing in me all these years. I couldn't have done it without you. I'd now like to call my parents up to the stage.
I would like to thank my parents for helping me throughout my years in school. I'd like to invite my mother onto the stage.
First of all, Rosh Chodesh Tov, everybody, and thank you for joining us to celebrate our graduation. This is such a special day for all of us, and we've been waiting in such anticipation for this day. And I joined SPHDS 10 years ago at the age of 4. I've been here for so long, and SPHDS feels like another home for me. So leaving just doesn't really feel possible. Of course, it's changed over the years, but it's always for the better, so fine with me. Right now, the only change I really need is for SPHDS to make a high school. Great idea for administration. I've made so many memories here, and although I usually forget old memories, I remember so much from SPHDS, even from when I was in preschool. I have never been to any other school, So I think that makes me graduating from here a lot more special. I love absolutely everything in SPHDS, but most of all, I love the people, because they're the ones who make this school what it is. Thank you to all of my teachers from this year and the past years for teaching me so much. Most of my knowledge came from all of you, and that knowledge is part of who I am. I learned many things throughout my time here that helped me a lot in the past, and I'm sure they'll continue to help me in the future. Like, for example, I learned how to be nice to others from Mora Norit in preschool. I learned how to read and write in both Hebrew and English from Mora Shirat and Mora Karen. I learned how to spell because from Mrs. Orozco. I learned how to write good and interesting stories from Mrs. Solberg. I learned how to use my imagination in my work and enjoy my classes from Mora Rachel Barshir, who taught me for 4 awesome, amazing years. It's sad that you're leaving, but... את המורה הכי אהובה עליי, ואני אף פעם לא אשכח אותך. Thank you for teaching me. I learned how to be a good and disciplined student from Miss Valley, who taught me for 2 years. And while being a very strict teacher, she still cracks some jokes. And I hope you get to live in your big house on a beach. I learned how to understand the psukim in the Tanakh from Mora Ellen, Rabbi Hecht, Rabbi Feldman, and Mrs. Raffleson. And I learned how to understand the Gemara from Rabbi Lieberman. I learned how to be creative in my projects, formal in my essays, and thorough and expressive in my presentations from Mr. Hathaway. I learned how to find quicker ways to do a math problem without forgetting the diabolical, ever-lurking, invisible one from Mr. Solov. I learned how to perfectly summarize a story from Mora Ilana. I learned how to run 2 miles in 20 minutes from Steve. And I learned how to enjoy myself doing something that I really like, whether it's a hobby like drawing or singing, or science class that I really enjoy, from Mr. Norling. Thank you all for teaching me so many things. I also want to thank all my classmates for being such a unique and unforgettable class. I'm so happy we're all graduating together. Even though we're all going our separate ways, we can always have a nice class reunion in a few years, or maybe sooner. Let's do it sooner. Natalia, thank you for sharing me so many moments of victory and pride. Ezra, thank you for making all those funny moments and being Batman and wearing blazers with Crocs, because that always makes my day. Chevy, thank you for playing sports with me and being pretty much the definition of a good sport. David, thank you for always being such a nice person and cracking jokes at the best times. Sima, thank you for being yourself and super energetic, because that energy is contagious and you always make me smile. Jonathan, thank you for being such a nice and funny person and for standing up here on the stage to speak, and for, standing on the stage for 2 years in a row on Yom Ha'atzmaut with me, which I really enjoyed with you. Chaya, thank you for being the friend that always knows what I'm talking about from everything, whether it's art, singing, a TV show, a movie, anything at all. You always know what I'm talking about. Herschel, thank you for making hilarious comments whenever I least expect it. It's always the best. Malka, thank you for giving me the perfect advice, although you just think it's obvious, but for me, it's the best thing ever. And Dan, thank you for being so knowledgeable, and instead of making things that usually would be boring sound boring, you make them sound so interesting, and you just put in those hilarious comments that just make me laugh every time you say something. Thanks to all of you for being a part of my class and making this year so special for me. the biggest thanks goes to my family, who supported me throughout this very, very long journey. Thank you to my aunt, Doda Eti, for coming here to celebrate this special day with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my siblings, Omer, Ezra, and Shira Ela, for being the best siblings ever and continuing to be in SPHDS while I can't. Omer, I really, really love how you always make me laugh, and Shira Ela also makes me laugh. But together, they make me crack up so hard, I fall on the floor laughing. And a huge, huge thank you to my parents, because without them, I wouldn't have gotten this far. I wouldn't even have been born, or have gone to the school. תודה לך, אבא, על זה שאתה תמיד מלמד אותי איך להתנהג ואיך לחשוב תמיד בהיגיון. אתה עוזר לי להבדיל בין טוב לרע, וחוץ מזה אתה האבא הכי טוב בעולם. אתה מצחיק אותי תמיד, וקונה לי כל כך הרבה מתנות, אפילו אם אני לא מבקשת. תודה שאתה תמיד שם בשבילי. ותודה לך, אמא, על איך שאת תמיד הופכת כל דבר כיף למשהו הרבה יותר כיף. את תמיד חושבת עליי ויודעת ממה אני מתלהבת וממה אני לא כל כך מתלהבת. כשאני צריכה עזרה במשהו, את תמיד באה ועוזרת לי. תודה לכם, אבא ואמא, על החינוך המושלם ואלפי החוויות שחווינו כמשפחה. אני אוהבת אתכם מאוד. ועכשיו אני רוצה להזמין את ההורים שלי לבמה. I'd like to invite my parents to the stage.
First thing I would like to say is I'm graduating. I hope I was a good friend to my classmates and all my other friends. I hope I was a good student to my amazing teachers. I also hope I was a good child to my amazing parents. That's enough talking about me, and I know it's fun talking about me, the amazing, awesome Ezra. But believe it or not, there are other amazing people in the world, and I would like to thank them. I'd like to thank my classmates, teachers, and family for making my life so awesome. I'd like to thank my classmates for making school so fun. I would also like to thank my teachers. Mr. Norling, thank you for teaching me and for the fun lines I will remember forever. Like, look, Mr. C was like a father to me. Now I need your boy to be a father to him. Whoa. Rabbi Feldman, thank you for devoting me to learning and teaching me so well. It was definitely not the Slurpees. Mr. Solov, thank you for making math extra fun with your jokes. Mr. Hathaway, thank you for teaching me so well and trying to tell me not to wear Crocs. I still wear them. But hey, at least I didn't wear them to graduation. That's because of you. Rabbi Lieberman, thank you for teaching us so well with all your amazing sites you brought to the school, like Class Dojo. You know, I also have one now, and for middle school, I have the most points. Morielana, thank you for improving my Hebrew and letting us play 5 minutes of basketball before class. And Mrs. Sundita, thank you for the amazing computer science. It was really fun. Mori Mirav, thank you for letting us borrow all those Chromebooks. and finally, Steve, thank you for coaching us in all the sports we played with you. I would like to thank my siblings, Abigail for always complimenting me, Rachel for always being there for me, David for being such a fun brother, Rivka for being so nice, and Chana Malka for being so cute. The most amazing people I would like to thank are my parents, Abba and Ima. You guys are the best parents I could ever have. There are a few things I would like to thank you for. You guys are always there for me and help me so much. You taught me so much, and you guys are always really fun to be with. Will you please come to the stage?
Number one.
Thank you all for coming. My time here at SPHDS has truly been unforgettable, and the knowledge I have gained here will stay with me forever. I'd like to thank each and every one of my teachers, past and present, for teaching me and providing guidance where it was needed. I am truly grateful for all the time and effort you have put into our education. Your devotion to the education of the future generation is something I admire and will keep in mind whenever I am faced with a difficult situation. After all, if all of you could deal with our class every day, every week for hours on end, surely I should be able to deal with whatever trivial matter is bothering me. I would also like to thank the staff members here at SPHDS who have contributed so much to the school and have made sure that all the children who attend remember their time here as one of the greatest experiences in their lives. Additionally, I'd like to thank my parents. Thank you for always being there for me, for supporting me and sending me to the school and teaching me so many valuable lessons in life. I promise I'm trying to remember them all. Thank you to my siblings, Rifki and Mendy, for teaching me just how much I should appreciate silence since it is so scarce, for teaching me how to share, whether it was willingly or not, and finally, for being yourselves. Never change to fit the wishes of others. I love you both just the way you are. Never forget that. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my classmates. Thank you for being so reliable, most of the time. Each of your unique personalities shine in their own special way, and I will always remember you. Well, I mean, I won't completely forget you. Actually, no, sorry, I was just kidding. I will always cherish the memories I made with each and every one of you. Thank you. I would now like to invite my parents to come up to the stage.
As y'all know, I'm graduating. Some of you out there, like Anna out there, might think that graduating is as easy as driving a car in New York. Well, I've got a secret to tell those people. I, the great and fabulous Herschel, would have never been able to graduate without the tad bit of help. Okay, fine, a lot of help from a fantastic group of people. These wonderful people have lent to me a helping hand throughout my life. And I do not think that there's enough words in the English dictionary to describe how much they've helped me in my journey to graduation. So let's just say that they're supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I would first like to thank my Bubby and Papa. My Bubby and Papa have supported me throughout my life when it comes to small things like wanting a Ferrari or superlative things like bringing the family close together. Thank you, Bubby and Papa, for all the cherishing moments that you have so generously shared with me and my family. Next, I would like to thank my Bobby and Zadie. Though their names are very, very similar to my other grandparents, they are a whole lot different. When I say different, I don't mean it in bad ways. I mean it in only wonderful ways. My Bobby and Zadie have looked after me ever since I was the size of a 1.5-liter bottle of soda. They have always brought us on exciting trips. My favorite trip, as they all know, is going to the Bronx Zoo. There, I learned of my everlasting love for penguins. I realize now that taking pictures of the family is a wonderful thing, though I might have hated it at times. Looking back at all those pictures you have taken of me has inspired me to one day take pictures of my children and their generations to come. Thank you, Bobby and Zadie, for giving me the skills I need to look out for others and be a mensch myself. The next people that I would like to thank are a duo. They can never be separated. These special people are so great that I can't even call them by their real names. The pseudonyms that I use for them are Mommy and Daddy. My Mommy and Daddy have been helping me since I was just a small organism. While I was just an organism, they were busy laying the foundations for a nice Jewish life. The fundamental teachings that they have instilled in me throughout the years have taught me not only to act nice to others, but to also respect the people around you. I feel very blessed that I was gifted with such generous and amazing parents. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for all the life lessons that you have so generously shared with me. I will always cherish the unconditional love that you have shown me, even when it seems I don't deserve it. I would like to thank you, Mommy, especially, for giving birth to me and letting Jonathan be first, so I wouldn't have to do all the work in the house. Daddy, thank you for spending long nights up, getting work done to supply our family with everything that we need. On that fruitful note, I would like to call up only my dad.
Wow, great speech, George, great speech. Hey, I can't do anything like that, it's amazing. Hey, thank you, Mom and Dad, Bobby and Papa, and Bobby and Zadie for everything you do. You guys are amazing. Mommy and Daddy, there's a lot of things I would like to say about you, but I can't. It's a short amount of time. We moved from the East Coast to here. Many of you probably know. You solved all of my problems, and you made it fun, and you made this place feel like home. Thank you for everything. If all of you do, I'd like to call up my mom.
Abba and Mummy, thank you so much for everything you have done for me and for your unconditional love and support. I love you guys so much, and I am so thankful for everything you have taught and given me. Danya, thank you so much for all your helpful advice and late-night sister talks. Although your hugs and kisses may not always seem appreciated, I don't know what I would do without you. Adine and Nunu, thank you for being reliably adorable and sweet. It is always so much fun reading and playing with you. I love you both. I would also like to thank my grandparents, Safti and Kip, Grammy and Grandpa, and Gramps and Zadie Zach for being here with me today. You have taught me so much, both about our strong family heritage and about being a good person. I am so grateful to have role models like you. Will my parents please come up to the stage?
the evening where we're going to begin giving out the diplomas. We're also going to give out gifts from the PA. So I'd like to invite the PA president to come on up, Mrs. Handworker. Chevy is a curious and passionate learner. She is deeply generous and is kind and caring to all. She is loved by her peers and respected by all. In addition to being a passionate learner, she is a natural leader and is always willing to lend a helping hand. She is a competitive athlete, has a very, very good flair for drama, and is a talented baker. It is my pleasure to present Chevy with her 8th grade diploma, as well as a National Citizenship Award, which recognizes her volunteerism, her outstanding leadership, her school spirit, and her respectful behavior towards others. Chevy. Dan has a deep passion for history, for politics, and Israel, and he enjoys having challenging and deep conversations and discussions on these topics. He is also a talented orator. In addition to his intellect and command of Hebrew, he is also a really good athlete and a really good friend. It has really been a pleasure to get to know Dan. Dan is a wonderful role model for his younger students in the school and his brother. He's very kind and caring. Dan, it is a pleasure to present you with your diploma.
Dan, turn around.
Malka is a deep thinker who enjoys problem solving and discussing books. As a bookworm, she is always exploring new ideas, places, and different worlds. Malka has the courage and strength to stand up for her beliefs as well as for others. She is a friend to all and has a wonderful sense of humor. It is my pleasure to present Malka with her 8th grade diploma as well as the President's Silver Award for Educational Excellence. This award recognizes students that show outstanding commitment and intellectual development. Malka, please come up. Sima is full of joy and confidence. She enjoys learning and has a special passion for Judaic studies and Jewish values and tradition. Her problem-solving skills, along with her natural leadership, make her stand out. She is caring and compassionate. It is my pleasure to present Sima with her 8th grade diploma, as well as the President's Silver Award for Academic Excellence. Sima, please come up. David is a friend to all and wears a smile on his face. He is fascinated with and has a deep knowledge of Israel, Jewish traditions, and customs. He is well liked by his peers and has a good sense of humor. He is always willing to lend a helping hand. It is my pleasure to present David with his 8th grade diploma. Libby is a curious, creative, and talented student. She loves to learn, and she enriches the lives of everyone she encounters. Libby excels at everything, and she shows a special talent for writing and art. She is kind, well-liked by her peers and her community. It is my pleasure to present Libby with her 8th grade diploma, as well as the President's Gold Award for Academic Excellence. Ezra. Ezra is full of energy and personality. Anyone who meets Ezra knows that he is a fan of Batman. And to his peers and school community, he exemplifies the positive qualities of Batman. Someone who is willing to help and lend a hand and stand up for others in need. Ezra is a creative student who has a heart of gold and a good sense of humor. Ezra, it is my pleasure to provide you with your 8th grade diploma. Please come up. Haya is a confident student who is dedicated to her studies. She is kind and has a deep love of Judaic values and traditions. She is a talented artist, and her artistry and intellect is seen firsthand in the quality of work she produces. She also has a talent for drama, and she also is very funny. She has a wonderful sense of humor and a wonderful friend. Haya, it is my pleasure to present you with your 8th grade diploma. Herschel. Herschel is a gifted math student and a science student who enjoys problem solving. But Herschel has a remarkable ability to access the content in his memory. He is full of energy and presence. He also, as you can see by tonight, has a keen sense of humor and can crack a joke, making everyone laugh regardless of the situation. Herschel, it is really my pleasure to give you your 8th grade diploma. One graduated before the other. Jonathan is a natural leader who displays integrity, courage, and passion. He is a friend to everyone. He is a responsible, mature role model to his friends and school community. Jonathan is always willing to lend a helping hand, to donate his time, and he's also a great performer. It is my pleasure to present Jonathan with his 8th grade diploma, as well as the National Citizenship Award, which recognizes outstanding leadership, school spirits, respectful behavior towards others, and volunteerism. Jonathan. Last but not least, Natalia Tuckman. Natalia is a passionate learner who has an unparalleled thirst for knowledge. She is a lifelong learner. Natalia has a deep love of Israel and Judaic values and traditions. She is a natural leader who always, with a sparkle in her eye, seizes the opportunity to make a vision come alive. Natalia is deeply generous and a kind-hearted individual. It is my pleasure to present Natalia with her 8th grade diploma, as well as the President's Gold Award for Academic Excellence. Students got a gift from the Parent Association. They received their diploma, but they also received something very special that they created this year. They created a Shorashim project in their Hebrew class, and each student has a bound Shorashim project that she or he has written. So it's in your packet there. So please share that with your family and share what you've learned about yourself with them. And finally, I'd like to have Rabbi Lieberman give the blessing of the night.
Okay. So at graduation, there are a lot of emotions, that come through. Especially, I taught this class in 3rd grade and then seeing them again through 8th grade. I will be brief because it is late and kind of warm. So we'll just start out with something on the parsha. At the beginning of the parsha, as was referenced, so this parsha is about a fight, a machloket between Korach and his congregation against Moshe. And when Korach, at the beginning of the parsha, when Korach first goes to Moshe and starts his fight, what is Moshe's first reaction? You guys remember? He falls on his face. Shavi, do you want to demonstrate that? We did a play last year, and Shavi was Moshe, and she did a fantastic job falling on her face. You see it. But that's fine. He falls on his face. Why does he fall on his face? So Rashi explains to us because Moshe is telling Hashem, they challenge me, and they challenge me, and they challenge me, and they're challenging Hashem. How many times can I pray for them? How can I handle this? So someone today, after the 8th graders left at 12 o'clock, someone asked me, do you feel relief? Do you feel like a sense like a big load has been lifted off your chest now that the 8th graders are gone? And Jonathan also referenced this before. And that it wouldn't be so out of the question to feel that way. However, because they definitely have challenged me more than 3 or 4 times. But the truth is that I have to pick one word that I feel tonight, for this class especially, I would say is proud. Why do I say that? Because each class has their own unique thing. With this class especially, and I think it's really without exception, that they all really worked hard this year. And none of them were afraid to work hard, and they all really, really grew. I mean, seeing them in 3rd grade, but even some in 5th, 6th, even within this past year, each and every one of them really, really worked hard and really became great over the year. One more point in the parsha. One of the unsung heroes in this week's parsha is a lady by the name of On ben Pelas's wife. And Chazal tell us that she's considered to be a wise woman. Why is she so wise? Because when Korach and his faction was rising up against Moshe, she went over to her husband and said, you know what, they're just motivated by honor and desire. You're not going to get that anyways. So what do you gain joining with these people? So what was so wise about that? She wasn't caught up in what everyone else was doing. She wasn't caught up in what seemed like it was a good thing to do, and what seemed like was the thing of the moment. She realized what was true and what was not true. So you guys, the theme of the night tonight is choose your adventure. What's it called? Adventure Awaits. Thank you. Adventure Awaits. Which, by the way, Dr. Go gets all the credit for this amazing thing of all the suitcases and all the Dr. Go was working on this for quite a while. Thank you, Dr. Go. Adventure Awaits. So you're going to come up, after you leave the walls of SPHDS, you're going to come with your suitcases, going down a path, and you'll probably see different paths to take, and some of them will look, like a lot of fancy lights, and there'll be a lot of people having fun, and people doing all sorts of things in your life, wherever you go. So it's important to be able to see, what is true, what goes with your values that you learned at SPHDS, and what is not so much with your values. And there will certainly be challenges and temptations along the way. But my blessing to you all is that you rise to the challenge, and you work hard through your life, and make a Kiddush Hashem. Mazel tov.
8th grade class, please rise. It is my honor to present the class of 2018. Thank you for coming this evening. Congratulations, class of 2018.
You spoke beautifully. Amazing.
Wasn't as long as the other people that like